Bang, bang. So I finished up the shipment last night. It ended up being 5 small Lowe's boxes and another small box. All told, it was, I believe it was over 200 pounds. 250 individual items. The 5 boxes going to Wisconsin cost the most. In-state was only $12, but the rest of it was $85. So it was $97 for 250 items, which breaks down to 38 cents a book or an item. Those numbers are skewed though, because a few of those books, probably 3, 4, maybe 5 of them are really heavy, and those definitely tip the average there, or increase the average, because most of the books were not very heavy. Most of them are paperbacks, because I tend to buy mostly paperbacks, and most of the paperbacks are not heavy in general, and they're smaller. So that 38 cents a pound would probably be closer to 30 cents or something like that, maybe even less, if I didn't have those handful of really heavy books. It's definitely still worth it, because it's really inexpensive when you think about it. Sending over 200 pounds worth of books and tapes to Amazon, most of them 100 or 200 of them all the way to Wisconsin, and it was only $97. So I look at it as, I just need to sell maybe 10 books. It's going to vary on what they go for, but even the lowest books going for $10 a piece, I sell 20 of those books, get a little over $5, 15, 20 of those books. I make back all the shipping, and that's only 15, 20 out of 250 items. I have to consider the cost of goods. The rest of it is profit for the most part. That's the great thing about the deep discounts through Amazon for UPS shipping. You can send 250 pounds or over 200 pounds worth of books, and it's not going to cost you very much. Of course, it takes a week to get there where it's going, but unless it's close, but at least you don't have to be out of pocket too much money. But if you're considering starting, or you've just started sourcing and you haven't shipped in yet, you have to take into consideration inbound shipping charges. So you have to pay that money up front. In addition to sourcing up front, you have to pay those inbound fees up front until you start selling some books. So those are all things you have to consider. If you're starting the business, you need a few $100. At least I would say you would need a good $300 to $500 to start this business, considering sourcing costs, which are very low for books. But if you want to get 100 books, you're gonna have to spend $50 to $100 to get those 100 books, and then ship them in. You're gonna spend another, depending on how far, $20 to $50 just for those 100 books to be sent in. So I take that all into consideration if you're starting the business. You can definitely do it little by little. It's not like you're going to send in 600 books right off the bat. Unless you found 600 books. Little by little, you can kind of drip feed Amazon to start off if you don't have a lot of money. If you only got $100, a week, or $100 every 2 weeks, you start off slow and you build it up. But you want to make sure you're getting books that are going to sell. You can always get some long tails, but make sure you have a good amount that are going to sell within the first, I would say, couple months, hopefully within the first week. But you want to start seeing some money coming in, or you're gonna just be paying money out. Dropped the boxes off at UPS, and now I am boxless and productless, and I need to start sourcing immediately, or I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown. No. But yeah, so I'm off to some yard sales. It always feels weird when you drop off the boxes, because now I have nothing to sell, nothing to prepare. I have to go out there and get some items, get some books, get some VHS tapes, get some CDs, get some video games, etc. It feels weird, I do so much to find the items, list them, prep them, put stickers on them, put them in boxes, take them to UPS, and then it's out of my hands. That's the great thing about FBA, but also kind of the frightening thing, that I have to rely on other people to make sure that my boxes get there, that they're handled decently, etc. Anyway, so let's see what these yard sales have to offer. There's one thing about going to yard sales and garage sales and estate sales is you just never know what you're going to find. And even though it says books, VHS tapes, CDs, you just, you know, you're not certain about whether there's actually going to be much of anything there. So it's hit or miss. However, if you go to a thrift store, you know there's going to be a ton of books, probably a lot of VHS tapes, probably CDs, etc. So you don't have to worry about whether or not there's going to be something to scan and look up. That's one of the downsides of estate sales and garage sales and yard sales. But nonetheless, I went to a couple and found 4 books. Nothing really that valuable. Spent $2.50 for all 4 books. This one here, Health Secrets from Europe. The dust jacket is really destroyed, so it's going to be acceptable. But the pages are fine, and it's starting at $35 FBA. There's a lot of cheaper prices, MF, but you know, it's a much older book. There's not that many on the listing. I think there's only 28 used copies, which is not too many. It's got 3 reviews, and it's a good rank. So I'm kind of taking a little bit of a gamble. I mean, it only cost me 50 cents, so it's not that much of a gamble. So we'll see what happens. It's Barney time and Blue's Clues time. It was a Barney and Blue's Clues bonanza today at the thrift store. I'm not kidding you. Someone completely cleared out their kids' VHS tapes and dropped them off at the thrift store. There was at least 15 to 20 Barney VHS tapes. There were at least 10 to 15 Blue's Clues VHS tapes. It was crazy. I've never seen so many in one place. After scanning through everything, these 3 are all going for over $25 each. Legitimate prices, guys. But these were not the best. I also found some others that are going for a little bit less. I bought like, I don't know, 12 to 15 VHS tapes. However, the best Barney's tape that I found, the most impressive one, I believe so far that I found, was this one. Barney and Friends, Hop to It. Does it look like a valuable VHS tape to you? Well, it is. There's one listing, one, and it's FBA, and it's going for $78 for this VHS tape. Phenomenal. And this one's in pretty good shape. I would say good, bordering on very good, actually. It's really borderline, but it's in great shape. Cross your fingers that the tape works. Usually they do. I can compete with the other FBA offer, or I can wait for that person to sell and then price it even higher, price it $100. It just depends on, you know, once again, how quickly I want to get my money, how long I'm willing to wait. You know, if you want your money quicker, you can compete with that FBA offer. You can match them, maybe a couple bucks under if it's not as in good condition as theirs is. It just depends, but you know, 78, 75 bucks. You know, you're getting paid about $60 for a tape that I spent $1 on. It's crazy. I think that VHS tapes are the best complement to books because few people are selling them. Few people think they're valuable, and there's just a ton of valuable tapes out there. But the best one that I found today, which I've sold before, I think it was my largest VHS sale, was Gymboree, and I mentioned it in another video. Once again, when I sold it, I was the only offer. I can't remember off the top of my head how much it was. It was either $50 or $60. I can't remember. I believe it was maybe $49.95. But I believe I was the only listing, and it sold quickly, very quickly. So clearly there's a demand. So this is going to be the only one up there. It's acceptable condition, but I'm going to list it for whatever I want. I'm going to do an experiment, and I'm going to list it for a lot of money and see if it sells. If it doesn't sell, I can always drop it, but it's the only one available on Amazon. Where else are you going to find a Gymboree VHS tape? Right? If someone wants it in another state, another country, they're dying to have this Gymboree tape from the 80s. Where are they going to find it if it's not on Amazon? Are they going to go scouring thrift stores? I doubt it. Is there another website that has it for sale? Does Gymboree have it for sale on their website? Doubt it. So you can list it for whatever you want. I'm gonna list it for an outrageous price and see if someone is willing to pay. It's an experiment, let's see. So VHS craziness today, which is why I love going to these thrift stores. I spent $4 on a textbook starting MF at $55, and the first FBA offer is $63, and it goes up to $87. So, and there's not very many copies. It does not have the CD in the front sleeve. It's missing. So I'm gonna have to note that in the condition notes, put it as acceptable, which is the first offer at $63 FBA. So, you know, $4, maybe I'll sell it for, you know, 63 bucks, $60. It'd be a great return. The sales rank is not that great, but it's enough to where it should sell in the near future. Even if it doesn't sell till August, it's still gonna be a great flip. So that's it for today. But remember, keep booking.